recoil for the sub. So let's just quickly do a recoil on this woofer. I didn't want to, but obviously now with all of the complications that I'm picking up with stripping the sub, I realized that, hold up, so to strip this woofer we'll have to take the bottom piece off, then take off this piece, then unscrew all of the bolts that's inside, and then pull all of the cables out to get to the. But look, okay, this specific speaker has been damaged by the previous owner and whoever had the sub before the previous owner itself. But somebody went and did something here onto the speaker that's not 100% kosher. And the biggest issue here we have is that we're working with a speaker that has been modified before me, and I'm just basically trying to make it do the best with what I have. This was the jig that I used. I'm pretty sure that I might be one piece of paper shy of the actual measurement. I wonder if the other one won't work better. Let's see if the other. I've only got that. There it is. Are you not you? No, that's too big. And the smaller jig. Yeah, it's the same as this one. Basically. So let's try and put this guy in here and see. Okay, you know what? We have determined that this is a bit too small. So I think I know what happened here. It's when I did my baking, the coil went slightly smaller because this glue that I use tends to heat up and then contracts it'll contract the jig, which is why you should use the correct size jigs whenever you're doing these type of things. I, on the other hand, unfortunately do not have the access to the jigs, and the buddy who used to make my jigs for me is no longer employed at the place that I can get it done. Okay, so let's take out the ugly paper. Let's put in a nice paper here. Let's see if we'll go in just like this. I think I need to put 3 papers when I'm coiling it. This is what I did, man. Maybe I should put another 4th one in. I don't know. Well, let's have a look, see. Because the speaker's already done, it should just go in. But if I'm struggling to put it in already, it makes me wonder. Yeah, see, that's basically what the size is. It's 2 papers, and it's not supposed to be 2, it's supposed to be 3 in terms of what the spec is when you're putting it in. So let us open up this guy here and let us recoil it. Let's just find which one is top coil here. It's most likely this guy. You go in here. Yeah, it should be this one then. Okay, cool. raise this, and we can turn this. Like I said, guys, I'm still working out the whole video setup and all of that, so please don't be too harsh on me in the comments. I know I definitely will get better at it, but for now it is what it is. I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this. Alright, we've got our paper, we've got our tape, we've got our lighter. Oh, there we go. That's him. That's our starting point for when we come back up. Remember, now we need to add another piece of paper in here in order for us to be able to do that. Let's just take this copper off here quickly. Maybe it's because I took out the jig while the coil was still hot, and it basically used that little bit of time to split open. That could be it as well, because the moment it was done, I removed the jig from the coil, and that last moments of heat might have closed it a little bit, because I did coil it with 3 papers, but it seems like that was not a wise thing to do, to open it up that way. But it's okay. We always learn from our mistakes, and even after such a long time doing this, we can still make mistakes. We're human. Yeah. This is why I know that my paper that I've used was 100% correct, because the jig is starting to come out as I'm unscrewing it. It's not very tight on the coil, and the jig's supposed to sit tight on the coil, which keeps the coil exactly open. So these 2 papers will definitely won't work. It has to have a 3rd paper for it to work. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, so now, first order of business, clean the former. Even though this is a new former, there's already a little bit, because of the baking process, there's already a bit of pieces of the coil wire that got stuck on the former, which is kind of a good thing and a bad thing, because then you know that the wire got stuck, and but the baking process wasn't a waste. Right, so now first order of business, like I said, we have to put in our extra piece of paper, which is what we're going to use this here for. I think we'll cut it a bit smaller. Alright. With the paper that I use for the coil, there's a certain grade that I use in order to help with the coil. Okay, there we go. Alright, that's nice there, nice and open. That'll help with the whole process. Okay. Positive, negative, positive, negative. Cool. Alright, so now let's begin. First things first, we get our papers ready. Our tape ready to hold our coil in place. Alright. Next up, the glue. With the glue, we basically try to not put too well for the bottom of the coil, this layer specifically. You kind of put a healthy amount of glue down because you want the coil to stick to the former, and that's when you're going down. So you won't put as thick a layer of glue when the coil comes back up, because all of this glue, once you start baking it, is going to seep through all of the levels of the coil, and that'll help bond the bottom part of the coil to the top part of the coil. And in case you're wondering, yes, I don't have a machine that does my coiling. I basically have a jig where my wire is on, and I coil by hand. I do all of my coiling by hand. This will be a lot easier than when I did the coil originally, because originally the coil was just the coil itself. Now I've got the help of the cone to help me turn it a little bit on a quicker side. get something there. I can coil with the machine. I just found that for me personally, this worked out a lot better. And at the moment, as things are standing for me financially, can't really afford the machine. And I know the guys will tell me you can make your own one with the drill. I've done the one with the drill, and that's the one that basically my focus. I can't follow the wire quite well enough. Maybe it's just my eyes, maybe it's just me, excuses, whatever the case may be. But I don't have any issues with this. So this is the process that I use, and I haven't had any issues with it, so I'm cool with it. Yeah, I think I need to take out those balls from the other one, because that noise is very annoying. Here's me other poetry. And that's just basically the metal rubbing on the onto the wood that's making the noise. Very, very, very annoying. Do apologize, guys. Like I said, if you put enough glue at the bottom, it basically seeps through to the top layer of the coil, and that'll help bond the coil together, because the glue from the bottom bonds into between the coils, and that helps when you're baking it. What? Come to the end, and we end up where we started. Where is my other jig? Because that noise is really gonna start annoying me. There it is. Ah, can't take it up. I just need to get me 2 more of these bolts, and then I can put it in there. So that's very, 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 very annoying. All up in my face here, bro. Okay, and that's the first coil done. As you can see, the glue marks, like I said, it'll seep through because this is still the first coil, so all the glue marks will seep through there. That's what we want. We want the glue marks to seep through so that it can bond the coil a lot better. Alright, coil 1 is complete. Let's start with coil 2. Now we'll put a lot less glue here because now everything is basically done from the first coil, so you don't need to go very hectic on this one here, because this one here will get the glue from the first coil once we bake it. But you still need to put a decent amount on here so that it doesn't fall off. There has to actually be glue for the wire to stick to. So even though it's not as generous as the other ones, you kind of still need to put a healthy amount of glue on the top. Right. Oh, that noise is annoying. And what you try to do is get the coil within the groove of the other one. That way when you're coiling it, you'll just basically fall into the groove and it will make the coil a lot easier. But you're still going to watch for that, because it likes to jump, and if it jumps, you leave the gap, and when you come back up, the coil will fall into a gap and you'll have basically a space within the coil, which is something that you don't want. You want it nice and tight. One more. Alright, bring it off there. Alright, this is the last piece of the coil. Come on now. We need the glue there. There we go. Close you up. Alright. One. There we go. Put that in here. And continue. Alright. And the second coil is done. Basically now the sub is done. We're just gonna go and bake it. So check back in a few moments.